Well, friends, welcome back to Copper Eye Joe. What you're looking at in this wheelbarrow in front of me is some water meters. And what you're looking at here is all the aftermath of a whole lot of water meters that I've already taken off to sale. This is all the plastic innards, internals out of them. And here is all the, where you read the meter, the top portion. I'm for the life of me, I'm lost for words of what to call this part. That's where you read the meter at, the little dials there. You got a leak indicator right there, the little triangle. But some of these have brass or copper cup bottoms. So I'll take my cutoff wheel and very carefully cut the sides and salvage the brass or copper off of these. The rest will go to garbage. But there's a whole pile of them here, friends. Excuse the shop. But yeah, I had a whole lot of these things. That truck, that old goat right there, has an 8-foot bed, and it was not quite full of water meters, but it was 2/3 full 8-foot truck bed. The old Dodge was squatting with what I had on there. But I know you're wondering, how did I get these? Did I buy them at auction? Did I go to GovDeals? Well, normally that's how you get water meters. But it's hard to compete with those big dogs. Unless you got a lot of money, you're not going to win the bids on those things. I luckily know a person. And, there's a video on my page where I broke down water meters before. So I'm not going to go in depth now on this one. The same people as the ones I did work with last time. Last year they had a big water meter change out, and their guys don't seem to have a lot of time to mess with this kind of stuff, and rather than take them to market dirty, which with all the plastic and all that, and get maybe half or less price, I encourage them to let me clean them for a percentage of the cut. And I don't mind that. I brought all the meters home. Right here in my shop, I cleaned them all up. I also got the cast iron meter boxes. They changed all those out to the plastic ones, but I got all the old cast iron boxes they changed out. Those things are heavy. As a matter of fact, I had my 12-foot trailer that I pull behind here, one layer of those boxes, and that trailer's only rated for 3,300 pounds. When I got to the scrapyard, I had 4,300 pounds on that trailer, so I am lucky that the floor didn't fall through in that thing, because it needs to be replaced. But I'm not going to tell you what my cut was, because this is personal and private. I'm sorry for that, but this is between me and that municipality, we'll say. And I'm acting as their subcontractor on stuff like this, all their scraps. I'm very happy that I was able to facilitate this deal. I learned a long time ago you're not to give away your resources, because if you tell people too much, somebody will try to hamstring you and knock you out of the saddle and stuff. So I hate that people are that way, but they are, friends. People will take advantage of you and try to mess up the good things you got going on. That's just life. But what I'm going to do right quick for you is I'm going to take, I've already hauled off a big load. And I've already went back and gathered another load that they've got. My trailer's completely full once again of cast iron meter boxes. And this is how many meters I had left over, this wheelbarrow full. So let me grab one right quick, and I will show y'all how simple it is to strip one of these out. Now, of course, all these meters are different kinds. But 80% of them are these right here, and they are, what are these? I don't quite see a name right away. Hersey meters, is that it? Hersey, Hersey? So about 80% of them were these Hersey meters. Anyway, let me make sure you can see the old block of firewood I got here for a chop block. So I've got this hatchet right here that I got at a yard sale. There was a whole box of them. A Chinese lady was selling them. I think this was $5. Not something I'm worried about messing up. And look, the blade's not even hurt from all the chopping I've done. Now, I'm not going to be chopping the brass, but I don't think there's anything good inside this little antenna type deal. So I'll cut that loose and throw it in the trash. And then when it comes to this plastic top, you got a retainer ring here. I'll just very carefully chop there, flip it over, chop there. Look at there. There's the top. Just that quick. You got either a brass or a copper bottom. I'll throw that in the pile. We'll take care of that later. Now, a little plastic there to knock off. Now we're left with these 4 stainless bolts in the bottom. So let's get our little impact here. Hello. I got a bucket here. I'm keeping all the stainless bolts in. And I'll just, if you can't see that, I'm sorry. I'll just zip them out right quick. There we go. That fell in the bucket. That's a brass bottom. You got this little kind of like plastic diaphragm down here. I'll play the drums and it'll fall out. Now you got a rubber right here. Pull the rubber out. Now you got a little kind of a plastic clip here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna, if it won't come out, just take your screwdriver and give it a little persuasion. There we go. Got that out. Now I'll come right here. Sometimes these will fall right out. Sometimes they'll make a monkey out of you. Let's see. Sometimes you can go in the hole here and kind of give it a little. Then you got a screen. Get that screen out. And there you got a clean meter. There we go. Just that fast. But yeah, friends, started with clean one up for you, show you how simple it was. And most of them are that easy. There'll be a few older ones that are a little more complicated, but most of them I can handle about that quick. I mean, it's not really that bad. And I know some of you are probably going to call me a liar on this because I'm not sharing the information with you. And again, I'm sorry for that. I'm normally share everything with you guys. You know, when I do my scrapping now, I do 50-50. Whatever's donated to me, including my own stuff, whatever I find, I throw in there as well. When I go to sell it, I'll take 50% of the money I made and I'll donate it to some local charity in my area. Just whatever the need is. It ain't got to be the same thing every time. I think last month we donated to the food bank up in town. And again, that's not to make myself look good. That is a us thing. Everybody that donated is part of the team. See how that works? It gives everybody a chance to be part of the team and contribute. That way I can't say it was all me. Look at me. Look what I did. If that's the way I was going to be, I wouldn't do it at all. And the only reason I even tell you about it is so people know so they can donate. But friends, for the time it took me to scrap all the meters that I've already scrapped and hauled, and I'm not counting the boxes, the 4,000 pounds of cast iron I hauled. I'm not even going to include that on this price figure I'm going to give you, because what I'm trying to do, you know, you'll always get people that say, well, was it worth your time when you figure the hours you spent? You know, what'd you make, $5 an hour? And I'm not that kind of person that cares about the hourly thing, because this is my free time. I could be in the house watching TV, watching some mess that has nothing to do with life, or put money in my pocket, or anything really useful. But instead, I come out here in my free time and make a little coin, scrapping stuff. And the scrapyard did bump me up to $4 a pound on the red brass meters. And then normally at the yard I go to, the scrap rate was $3.15 a pound. But I guess because I had so many, or because I've done so much business with them, I guess they decided to bump me up to $4 a pound. I've heard of yards doing that. If you're such a repeat customer, you're there all the time, you're loyal, you never try to screw them over, sometimes they'll give you a better deal. You're bringing a lot of volume in. But when I break down the hours I spent cleaning these meters and what they brought, my cut now, the cut I got, divided by the hours it took me to clean. Call me a liar all you want to. I got nothing to prove. That is worth my time, friend. I don't know anybody that wouldn't be happy making that an hour scrapping water meters, sitting on this bucket, right here on this little 16-inch tall buck of firewood with a hatchet and an impact tool. Again, I'm not going to share what I made. I'm sorry. But now that, fortunately, this is not part of my 50-50 deal. This is me being the, how did I put it? The subcontractor for this municipality. So I will use that money to work on my truck, You know, I'm recouping some of the costs that I've spent. I just put ball joints and tie rod ends on this old beater Dodge over here, and it still needs to be lined up. It's going to need tires soon. So the money I made on this, I will use to better my means of transporting scrap. I need to put a new floor in my 12-foot trailer. So I will be taking my part of this money as a subcontractor for this municipality and fixing my stuff. And I'm not going to buy a brand new truck to run scrap to a scrap yard or haul firewood or stuff like that and beat it all to crap. I'd rather find an old beater that I can still buy parts for and do the work myself and just keep hopping that thing along. It's paid for. I ain't got to worry about a vehicle payment every month. And if it breaks down, by golly, I get tired of working on it, I'll sell it to the scrap yard I go to with all my other stuff. But anyway, friends, I will cut the video there. I appreciate you for watching. And just get out there, friends, and shoot your shot. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.